Sa pagsikat ng araw, may dalang bagong pananaw. Naririnig mo bang busina? Palapit na ang pagbabago. Sama na, halika na. Go Education, may bagong paraan. Mas madaming paaralan. Si teacher mas suportado. Si estudyante mas natututo. Trabaho tagumpay ang pupuntahan. Wow! Go Education! Sakay na't makiisa, sabay na hindi kaya kung wala ka. Lumalakas na ang busina, palapit na ang pagbabago. Sama na, halika na. Go Education, may bagong paraan. Go Education, paaralan. Go Education, mas suportado. Go Education, mas natututo. Go Education, trabaho tagumpay ang pupuntahan. Wow! Go Education! Go Education! Go Education!
Welcome back to Philippines Uncut. I'm Buddy Cunanan. Tonight's topic is K-12, the future of Philippine education. And joining us still is Dr. Mona Balisno, former Secretary of Education. And joining her is Mr. Norman Camongol, the President of the Production and Operations Management Association of Philippines, and himself very actively involved in education. Welcome back, Secretary Balisno.
Thank
of
you.
course, Norman, who's been also here several times on the show for several
Really?
topics,
Okay.
in particular manufacturing.
Yes.
Now, Norman, let's talk about your background. What is PROMAP and how are you involved in education?
Right. PROMAP stands for the Production and Operations Management Association of the Philippines. It was established in 1977, and it was supposed to stand for a sort of like a network of manufacturing executives in the country, and it grew to a manufacturing advocacy group now at this point in time.
Nice.
I'm the current president, and I was president in 2004, but I was re-elected this year. And the reason why we're involved in education, particularly in operations, is because from the industry standpoint, we find that a lot of our new graduates need to be retrained
Yeah.
within the confines of the office, within the confines of the plant. Retrained, sometimes they don't even know what certain methods are. These are supposed to be taken in school, but somehow they don't, or they know it, but they don't understand what it's for. So we need to have them retrained, and it takes time, and also it takes money. Money that's supposed to go to benefits now go to retraining.
Or for the business, for putting it back in
For
the
business,
expansion,
for
or-
expansion, or for upgrading facilities there,
Yes.
for the market and all that.
You know, this is very timely that you're here with Secretary Balisto, because we were just talking about that, the
Right,
need
right.
for, di ba ma'am, private sector and
Yes.
education to really link up and have a close working relationship so that the
Yeah,
educators
yes.
can give you guys what you guys need.
Yeah.
Di ba po?
That's
Ma'am,
true.
bakit po parang there seems to be a lack of synergy between the two?
Well,
As Norman said, you know,
first of all, Ched, I was there. We started already the coordination with the industry. Of course, at the beginning, we know that we don't produce the right kind of expertise that the industry needs. Now, we started that out, and I'm glad it's being followed. But now that you are the member of the technical panel, see to it that they implement, what is laid down by the technical panel through CHED. I would like to look at it positively that way. So one of the errors is that they have not, even if we are using all of these implementation strategies, but then there are some private schools that would like to not use, they can have the textbooks, as you mentioned, which are 10 years behind, 20 years behind. So,
Wow.
that's violating our vision of educating human resource for the future.
You have to keep
That's
them
right.
current, absolutely. About
That's right.
current, and as you said, for the future, not just for,
the
now,
future.
but
No,
for the
no,
future.
yeah,
To
that
look
is
ahead.
important. That is for the future.
Yes.
Everything must be for the future.
Yeah.
Para walang mawi-waste.
Yes.
Kung hindi, at saka first of all, in that future study, for the future, we have sa basic education, we have to develop creativity. Those are very innovativeness, so that they can institute some kind of reforms as well
Yeah.
at their level, even the students, because you said they didn't understand what they were doing. All right, so maybe now with the K to 12, I'm very hopeful that our students after graduation will be more prepared, not only in the academic track, but also going to technical vocational. And then eventually they will have jobs, because this
Yeah.
will be
Yes.
this will be the students that you need.
Yes.
Pakisabi mo lang sa kanila na ito yung kailangan ninyo sa region. Meron kaming noon, even we had clusters with industry, with PCCI, but continuity. Now that you're there, I hope that everything will be all right.
Norma, what is this technical group that
Yeah.
Secretary was talking about,
Well,
that you mentioned, that you're involved in? What is this technical
Well,
group?
this group is actually well, we are connected with the technical group of Dr. Conrad Inigo, technical panel with CHED,
Yes.
and we are helping them rewrite the syllabus of the business administration course, and then there are different majors there. So for us, ProMap, we are concerned with operations management. So business administration, major in operations management. We are now studying the entire syllabus nationwide, and we are instituting changes to that, so that when a student enters, our plan is when the student enters college and takes up business administration major in operations management, the course is actually 5 years ahead of what the industry needs.
I
So
see.
by the time that the student they graduates from
That's
school,
right.
they will be at par with
Yeah.
what they need. So you are an operations management graduate, you go in as an assistant manager. You don't go in as a stock clerk. You don't go in as a forklift operator. You don't go in as anyone's clerk or secretary. You go in as
Handa na,
assistant
handa
manager
na.
or
Handa na.
manager na talaga.
At saka yung curriculum indicates yung practicability of the courses. No?
Yes.
May practicum for if you go for entrepreneurship. Tignan mo kung meron ba siyang talagang marketing.
Yes.
Is that guy, really doing what is expected of marketing? Then you link up with the private
Correct,
sector,
yes.
with the private industry, and then the private industry will be the ones to give the necessary ingredients for them to succeed as business management graduates.
Right. With marketing
Yeah.
Yeah.
before it was
Uh-huh.
marketing, now it's marketing management.
Yeah.
So to make it more specific, what is
Correct.
marketing all about? Okay, then we have BA entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
BA in finance management. There's no more accounting
Yeah.
per se, but there's application of accounting into
Correct.
the different investment.
That's good.
Very good.
So it's not it's now more outcome directed.
That's right.
So we are now looking at
Uh-huh.
not just the innards of the course, but what do we expect our graduates to have?
That's true.
Very
Right.
good. Very good.
Now, in relation to K to 12,
Yeah.
in relation to K to 12, we find that a lot of problems, challenges.
Challenges.
Challenges. We don't like to say problems here. Challenges.
Okay.
Challenges are in the field of communication and value formation.
What do you mean by that? By
Okay,
communication value?
communication.
Yeah.
A lot of these graduates, even with their mother tongue, they have difficulty communicating what they want.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Okay, you have people speaking in Tagalog,
Yes, in
speaking
Tagalog,
in
sure.
Higlayano,
Yeah.
he's speaking in Chabacano.
But-
They cannot even communicate what they need. Value formation, they don't have the strength of character. Because most of the instruction in the beginning of grade 1, yata, English yata kagad, and they have difficulty absorbing that when they're young. That's one thing that I like about K to 12 ngayon.
Yeah.
is because the first few years is on
Yeah.
the vernacular.
Well,
Ayun nga ho eh.
that has been implemented long before.
Yes.
Okay? The child learns best
Okay.
in the first
Sabi niya,
grades. Yes.
sa pre-shoot natin, Doctor,
That's right.
you said that even
Yeah.
tayo pa ni Marcos, di ba, na I think you
Yeah.
folks had already done, identified this
That's
as a need.
right. There was this Iloilo experiment that in fact identified the medium of instruction, at least in the particular knowledge. And then they shift to English after grade 3. Yeah, grade 3, grade 4, ganon, after grade 3. So that one is already implemented by DepEd, which is nice because I could see the continuity of the leadership of Brother Luistro in education. So yung mga ginagawa in the past, kinukontinue yan like these things. And also, he expands on other aspects of using those that we have started before, long before, into better use. You know, so you can see that that one is a hope for this country. We have so many dreams for our country, and I know that we're progressing economically. And here comes the private sector with their support. Now there must be a very close coordination of the private industries and academia, you know, both in technical vocational by TESDA and also the CHED. Why I mentioned these institutions, because they're supposed to be mandated to look into this, to monitor in any way, so they can see it's not as something you mentioned on regulatory alone, because they have their main
That's their
objective
mandate. Yeah.
is something to inspire every
Yes.
single student, that single student can reach his maximum potential.
Correct.
Yun
Yes.
ang effective teacher. Kaya titingnan natin sa kung sino yung talagang ang puso niyan nasa pagtuturo. Then again, I'd like to inject that education is a partnership with parents, parent learning support system.
For sure. Yeah, so that's where the child starts learning.
That's right.
in
I'm
the
glad
home,
that
in the
I'm
classroom.
glad that DepEd now has that Abot Alam, and that's a continuation of those in accreditation and equivalency, the alternative learning system, and then putting into use, so the 15 and 30 should be taken care of so that they could go to industry, and I hope that what skills that is needed will be taught to them.
Ayun yung also yung sinasabi ni Norman na value formation sa parent learning
Parent learning support, yes.
parent support
Parent learning support
parent-
system.
Yes.
parent learning support system. That's exactly
Yeah.
what you were saying, that the value
Right.
formation.
I have written that article in 1982 that was funded by UNESCO. The parent learning support system, it's implemented in the Asian region also. So we can see that we have to take care of the parents as well, that they must love educating with us, with their children, whether they can read or not. But the desire
Should be
that
there.
should be there. So yun po ang support na kailangan.
Very well, good, very
So,
good, very
sana.
good.
It's actually a multifaceted
That's right.
approach.
Yeah.
So you have industry, you have the parents, the home.
Yes. The
You have community as well.
Yeah.
You have different agencies within the community, like
Correct.
the church.
That's
You have
correct.
the LGU.
Yeah.
You have of course government coming
Right.
in, and of course the students themselves. They should be able to help themselves, help each other.
Now, Norman, you're a parent. You've got 4 daughters, right?
Yes.
And all of them are in the middle of the K-12 system. Are you happy about the system? Are you happy that it's being implemented now? And as a
Well,
parent,
my 2 youngest daughters are okay because they're just incoming grade 1 and grade 2.
Yeah.
So obviously
but let's
Right.
say,
we're
I mean,
no
like
choice or not.
the additional year, the additional financial cost by adding 2 more years. I mean, how do you parents feel about that?
Well, with the additional financial costs, obviously, a lot of parents not happy about it. That's the bare bones about it. However, we're looking at it on long term. Now, is it something that will be advantageous to my daughters in the long run, especially with the entry of next year, 2015? You have all the ASEAN as sort of like a one no taxes, no duties and all that. So you can the plan is to have, maybe next time we'll have students from Myanmar enrolling in schools here. and they'll be
sort of unified
competing.
educational,
Unified
ASEAN-wide
Yeah.
So
system.
my daughters, by the time they graduate, they will be competing not just with Filipino students, but they'll be competing with other ASEAN
yes.
students.
Well, these are supposed to be the objectives in globalized education. Kaya ako, ang gusto ko sana synchronize lahat.
Very good.
It's
very
not only the basic education, but also college kasama. Now, for instance, basic education is up to grade 10 ngayon. And
good.
then
Gusto ko yung grade 12 sa K-12.
and then
yes.
K-12, yung iba, nag-umpisa na yung K-12. Hindi pa na-synchro. Ateneo, for instance, started long before. Ateneo, LaSalle, Marinol. They've started long before. Pero hindi pa nakikita yon ang effect. No? Ngayon, maganda na at sa national policy. So these are the things that I would like to emphasize, yung coordination sana. Hindi lang yung basic, pati TESDA, pati CHED. Ngayon, so they have like, I know that those that will, the problems will be somehow not completely solved, but it will be reduced to a great extent.
Siguro we can just all ask for patience on everyone's part.
That's
Talaga
right.
may birth pains to, di ba?
Oo nga.
And in any transition, no?
Now, yung sinasabi ni Professor dito na they'll be competing with other countries, maganda yun, no? Kasi sabi natin pare-pareho na tayo. Actually, we are up there and then there are more foreign students coming in. So we will be...
It will keep us on our toes, no?
Yeah, keep
Dapat
us on our toes. And more money for the country, isn't it?
Yeah. That's one thing that I'm
Right.
looking at right now.
Yeah.
In the long term,
Yeah.
I mean, in the short term, of course, the cost will be there. 2 years, you know that 30,000 more or less for private schools
Per
per
child per year, per
per
student
child.
per year.
But however, if take into account that I will have my students going, be qualified to go to the best schools because they're qualified, not because they're just Filipinos here, but they can go anywhere within the ASEAN region.
They're armed with better education, with
Yeah.
with 2 more years of
That's
schooling.
right.
And that's a big boost, no? 2 more years of
Yes,
schooling.
kasi even if we know that the learning count more than the learning acquired more than the number of years, no? But pag sabi nila sa Pilipinas grade 10 ka lang hanggang ganun. So there's already that discrimination there. Although if we submit our students coming from these schools for a test, I'm sure that they will be more comparable because the academic track they offer now, they will be offering in the K-12, trigonometry, calculus,
Calculus in
offer
fourth year.
doon sa ino-offer doon sa general education ng
Yes,
college.
yes.
Then if you take this examination with the other graduates of grade 12, I'm sure that we are comparable.
Yes, ma'am.
The
Yes, ma'am.
students are from the Philippines, from these schools only.
Yes.
Ngayon, di marami na, lahat na. So, I could see that magkakaroon tayo talaga ng upgrading sa lahat.
Yes, ma'am.
That will propel every angle of our contributions for education. So,
Very well said. Ma'am, Norman, Secretary Balista, unfortunately, we've run out of time. We have about a minute or less to close. A quick message first from Norman, then Secretary Balista. Ikaw muna, Norman.
Okay. We would like to have more qualified personnel in our factories now, especially since manufacturing is really going boom right now. So we don't want to get them outside of the Philippines. We want to get Filipinos here, but we need Filipinos who are excellent in communication and creative. And they don't need to be technical. They just need to be analytical.
Excellent. Secretary?
yes, I agree very strongly having that creativity, analytical mind and everything. But first of all, I'd like to say thank you for the continuing policies that's being administered by the DepEd, CHED, TESDA, that what we have learned in the past out of our studies and experience being used right now. Number 2 is that I would like to see a more synchronized coordination with the 3 agencies of education, plus of course the parents especially. We have this important component of educating our children with them. They have to be supportive in education. We're glad that our present president has supported education from the start. by announcing right away that the implementation of K to 12 will come. So these are very good impressions that we shall have, so that we hope the best for this country through education.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Norman, thank you for coming to the show. And of course,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
coming on the show and sharing
Right.
with us your valuable insights, ma'am. We're very
Thank
honored to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show and learned a lot about K to 12 and the future of Philippine education. Join us again next year on the show where we talk about what matters to you, because you guys matter the most.